This week, Chief Jared Mills is talking to Lesley Jones, the Director of the Augusta Public Works, about winter parking.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Chat with the Chief. I'm your Chief, Jared Mills, as always, and today I'm here with a very special guest. Lesley Jones, our Director of Public Works, and also our Senior Department Head.
Did
right?
you have to tell people that?
You are really, because I'm a department head, in the city for the police department. You're a department head for Public Works, and I have to always defer to you for the experience stuff,
Because
right?
of the white hair?
No, I've got the white beard, so we're all good. So today we're going to talk about, very important, very timely, we're going to talk about winter parking in Augusta. Parking bans, the overall parking ban. We want to get the message out to everybody exactly how we operate in the city of Augusta. We put it all over social media. It's posted on message boards. We try to get the word out, but this is just another way we want to get the message to everybody. So Lesley, you're the expert in this field. You guys clean the roads, and what a great job that you do. If I may digress,
Well, thank you.
This last storm knocked it out of the park. Everybody could drive everywhere. Excellent job. So the parking ban. Augusta has an overall parking ban, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so between certain dates, you can't park on city streets in certain times. Can you tell us what that looks like?
Yes, by ordinance, starting on November 15th until April 15th, you cannot park on the street starting at 10 p.m. at night until 7 a.m. in the morning, unless you have permission from the police department.
Permission from the police department. What do people actually have to do? How do they get permission from the police department?
You have to contact either the Augusta Parking District or the police department themselves. You fill out a form, and then you go on a list. And that being on that list allows you to park on the street. It also gives your department the opportunity to reach out to you. If we have a winter plow event or doing snow removal, you are very generous and reach out to people and say, hey Joe, your car's on the street, we're doing snow haul or it's plowing, and you need to move your car off the street.
Yeah, great information. Now, the criteria for that really is not everybody can get on that list. The criteria for that is you actually have to have either a home that has no driveway or a place to park. So if you have a residence that has a driveway, we're not going to issue that permit. However, if you have, say, 6 drivers and only a room for 2 in your driveway, you can justify that. So that's great that people know the criteria as well, because that's not just a blanket permit that we give out. We actually have a night sergeant who goes out and looks at the actual address to make sure there's places to park. So great. That covers overnight parking, how you can get a permit, and you have the dates. That's fantastic information. Now, how about, like, recently we just had a parking ban. We just had a snow event, and we issued a parking ban. It was from like 10 o'clock at night until 4 the next afternoon. What's the difference between that, a parking ban, and just the overall no parking between the dates of November and April?
The winter overnight parking ban covers the general situation, and it covers you to park on the street unless we ask you to move. The primary reason we did a parking ban this past Tuesday was because the winter parking ban wasn't in effect by ordinance, and we wanted to make sure that people had their vehicles off the street. We typically don't issue parking bans during snowstorms because we have the overnight parking ban. Typically, if we get a big storm or a long duration storm, we do issue a parking ban. And when there's a citywide parking ban, we can do it for whatever hours we need. Like you mentioned, on Tuesday, I believe it was, we did it, and we started it at 10 o'clock at night and went until 4 o'clock the next day. We base that on the weather forecast, and we base it on a conversation between what you think is reasonable and what we think is reasonable, and then we can do a public service announcement on that. It goes out over the radio, Facebook, the television,
Twitter, Instagram, all of that stuff. Great, yeah. Excellent. So yeah, that's kind of the difference. People may wonder, like, oh, I thought you can't park overnight, but there can actually be a parking ban during the daytime as well. And that's general for that general rule. Right now, we need to keep the streets clean, and there was some icing on the way, and it was very important that we did that. Obviously, you look at my driveway, it's really impassable right now because I didn't clean it, and now it's frozen. So that's important.
Yeah, the primary reason we want cars off the street is, number one, it makes it easier for our plows to get around. We don't have to worry about hitting cars that are parked in the street. the plow drivers have a lot of stuff to worry about anyway. They've got a plow and a wing, as you can see on this truck here. It's a big piece of equipment, and they're watching out for pedestrians, they're watching out for obstacles in the road.
I've seen it firsthand, exactly what you're saying. I've been behind a plow in my police car, and I've had people kind of cut out around, and they're in a hurry to get somewhere, and that's important for people to know too, is you really want to make sure that you're giving the plow drivers as much room as possible and driving safe. If you go blowing past the plow driver and cause an accident, that's going to be on you, the driver. It's not going to be on the plow
Right.
operator.
Yeah.
So give them the space and just let them clear the streets so they can make sure you drive safe.
Yeah. And they're driving in a big truck. They've got a plow on the front, they've got a wing on the side, and in the back they've got a sander. So they're trying to make sure they're pushing the snow off the road. They're watching all the dials in their truck, and at the same time, they're trying to make sure that they've got material coming out of the back of the truck to treat the road after we scrape the snow off. So their job is one of the toughest jobs in the winter.
Absolutely. So let's transition into downtown parking and how that affects between the overnight parking and winter operations. We've just went to two-way, so that must present some challenges for you as not being a one-way street anymore on Water Street. Is that accurate?
That's accurate. Our primary concern is because Water Street is a little bit narrow, is when we plow the snow off the street, it lands up in the parking stalls. And if people park in those parking stalls and kind of straddle the parking stall and get, so they're half in the travelway and half in the parking lot, in the parking stall, then it makes it hard for us to get around with our plow. So one of the things we've done is we've got no parking signs down there. They're freshly installed. We have to add one more piece of hardware to them. But when those lights are on, it means there's no parking on that side of the street for the duration that they're new LED signs that we're very modern now.
Yes.
So when those are on, there's no parking on the entire length of the street, and that's between Winthrop Street and Bridge Street.
Now, in the downtown, and I can kind of show this map and we'll get a better presentation of it, but in the downtown, there's certain areas overnight that you can park. Is that correct? On Commercial Street? Is there a free parking area?
Yes. In this parking brochure that is published every year, this is a map of the downtown, and I know there'll be a better graphic later, but the green areas are free parking for overnight parking. The winter downtown parking ban is from 4 p.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning. And at that time, you need to be off the street. You can park in the parking garage or the Front Street parking lot. There's, I think, 6 different locations on this map. Commercial Street is currently closed because of construction. That's supposed to open in the next couple of weeks. So we're being a little lenient with parking downtown, but still, if there's a vehicle in the way and we're plowing, you know, we do, by ordinance, we're allowed to move it. But hopefully when Commercial Street is open, that parking on the east side of Commercial Street will open back up. That's free parking unless it's this area right here. That parking will open back up.
So that pretty much covers everything. We're talking about overnight parking ban. We're talking about emergency parking bans. We're talking about downtown parking. I think we've covered everything. You provided a great deal of information. If people have this, save it. If you forget it, I know we've thrown a lot of information at you. You can rewind it and play it back anytime there's a snow event or you question the parking rules in the downtown. We actually have our ordinances online, so you can go to our website and you can figure out exactly when you can park and when you can't park in the city of Augusta. But this is an easy way, an easy reference, so save this information.
You can also do info@augustamaine.gov if you have questions. That's an easy email, info@augustamaine, all one word, all spelled out, .gov.
Excellent.
For more information.
Excellent, and that dovetails into where I was going, because is there anything else you can think of that I'm missing, Director Jones, on this?
No, we're constantly posting stuff on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, so go there. We've recently posted both the overnight parking ban, and we actually canceled rubbish the other day because of the weather, so Facebook is a great resource to follow stuff.
Can never go wrong. Police department as well. One of the things that comes to mind too is our Tip 411 app. You know, that's another thing that we have. If you haven't subscribed to that, I highly suggest, it's highly suggested. You'll get all of the parking ban information on that.
How do you
Tip
do that?
411. You go to your app store. If it's an iPhone or an Android, you just go to that app store or whatever it is and you type in Tip 411, Augusta Police Department, and that will get you that app. So
great.
you'll be up to date on everything. And it can be more than just overnight parking. We just had a structure fire today. Riverside Drive was shut down for a while. We pumped that information out, and hopefully that helped many of our followers.
So if you don't want to join Facebook, tip 411 would be a great alternative.
Yeah, goes right to your phone real time, and you can communicate with us. Let's not forget, you can type things back to us. You see something, it's all anonymous. It's in many, many different languages, so it's an actually very useful tool that we use not only to solve crime but to get information out. So
Great.
Excellent. Well, thank you once again for tuning in to another edition of Chat with the Chief. I'll see you next time. Have a good day.
Please follow these instructions on the City of Augusta's website to sign up for Tip 411, as well as these resources are available for winter parking. Thank you.